Rio de Janeiro is waking up. Early morning is the best time to release mosquitoes. The ones in these cylinders have been bred in the laboratory and infected with a certain kind of bacteria, Wolbachia, that makes them incapable of transmitting diseases like dengue fever. The longer-term plan of the scientists at the World Mosquito Program is to infect wild mosquitoes with Wolbachia as well. When they go out to release their infected insects, the team from the World Mosquito Program has to make regular stops to get rid of unwanted passengers. An occasional bite is all part of the job.
So fighting against dengue is important to avoid people dying. So we know that every time we have an epidemic, in tropical countries, we know that many people die because they have other problems, they have other health problems.
This is what a vector of dengue fever looks like. It's an Aedes aegypti, and it's most active during daylight. Luan Ferreira worries about his baby daughter Luna. Dengue is most dangerous in infants and can often lead to complications. Luan is pinning his hopes on the lab-grown mosquitoes. The 25-year-old is an ambassador for the World Mosquito Program and spends a lot of time raising awareness in his neighborhood. There are ambassadors like him in all the regions where re-engineered mosquitoes have been released.
There has been resistance in communities because people wanted to know why more mosquitoes were being released into the environment when there are so many biting us already. That's understandable, of course. Why introduce even more? What's the benefit for the community? How does it work?
But now they've understood the point of replacing the natural population of disease-transmitting mosquitoes with ones that carry Wolbachia. Dengue fever is debilitating. Asad Zidane has had it twice. Each time it was caused by a different strain of virus.
With dengue, you get headaches and fever. You can't eat, and you have to throw up. Everyone around here has had it. And then chikungunya arrived too.
His sister Amira had a bad case of chikungunya and took a long time to recover. She had a fever for days and suffered from joint pain for months.
Dengue is preferable to chikungunya. That's a disease you have to respect. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I'm terrified of it.
The goal of the scientists at this mosquito farm is to eliminate mosquito-borne disease. This is where they infect the insects with Wolbachia bacteria. The females are fed with blood from conserves past their expiration date. The staff call the lab the mosquito factory. The workflows have been optimized so that a maximum number of mosquitoes can be bred here. The females lay their eggs in water cups lined with paper. They're recognizable as black flecks on the paper. They'll eventually develop into larvae and mosquitoes.
So we love them. We care about them, like we produce them in a way that can survive in the field and then place the wild population for one that has Wolbachia and does not transmit diseases.
In the neighboring lab, cylinders are filled with a fully developed mosquito larvae. They continue to mature in the tubes, eventually growing wings. 1.5 million mosquitoes are bred every week. When they're released, they go on to mate with the wild mosquito population, which carries disease viruses. The project was launched in September 2014 with 3 scientists. 100 people work here today.
First we had the dengue was the only problem, then we had Zika coming, chikungunya. Now yellow fever is around, so if yellow fever is not an urban disease since 1942, but if it becomes, there is a potential that Aedes aegypti, the same vector, could transmit yellow fever in cities, which will be very complicated.
1 in 5 cases of yellow fever proves fatal. Health clinics are already at breaking point. There is a yellow fever vaccine, but only 60% of Brazilians are vaccinated. Overcrowding is a serious problem in the favelas of Rio. Defective water tanks and overflowing rubbish dumps are ideal breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Winters in Brazil are cool and dry. The mosquitoes take longer to grow. Even so, it doesn't take Gabriel Silvestre long to find some larvae.
We should be warned about, you see. So if we have changes in climate, we can have dengue, Zika and chikungunya more spread, like have peaks all over the year. So it's even worse than have just during the summer.
Local shop and house owners do their bit for the project. The mosquito traps scattered about the city are emptied regularly and their contents later examined in the lab. The scientists have established that in the areas where the infected mosquitoes have been released into the environment, Wolbachia bacteria end up present in the bulk of the mosquito population. Now the scientists have to wait until the next epidemic of a mosquito-borne disease in humans to see if there's a reduction in infection rates in those areas.
Every time we go for like a meeting inside the community to have health agents around, they say that the health clinics we are working like close, they are receiving less cases than the other ones where Wolbachia is not established.
The first positive results of a project that might eventually be introduced in cities around the world, banishing dengue, Zika and chikungunya to the past.